my name is Gillian, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about what it really takes to build a successful online business, because I know that there is a lot of distracting things that happen online, a lot of people telling you that you need to do a lot of different things, and it can be kind of overwhelming and confusing. So let's talk about that. What does it take to build a successful online business? Well, if you're trying to grow a business online, then some of the key metrics that you're probably measuring are sales and profits. And how do you increase those things? Well, with marketing, of course. I'm sure that you're already aware of that. And so you've probably dived in a little bit and tried to figure out how to better market your business online, how to attract more customers, how to generate more sales so that you can increase your profits. So if you're trying to better market your business, then what do? Well, probably you sit down at your computer, you go online, and you do a little bit of research, you do some Googling, and you try to figure out what tactics you should use to promote your business. And when you do this, you find a lot of conflicting advice. You'll find people telling you that you must run webinars, that you have to use Facebook ads, that you need to improve your website's SEO, and that you should start running a mastermind program. But this might leave you wondering what the truth really is. I mean, after all, you're getting all this conflicting advice, and one person is saying that this is the number one thing you need, and someone else is telling you something completely different. So, do you really need all those fancy tactics? Fortunately, the answer is no. You don't need a bunch of fancy marketing tactics. In fact, the basics can take you really far. And by far, I don't just mean your business can get off the ground. I mean you can build a big, strong, profitable business on just the basics. And in fact, not only do you not need those marketing tactics, they can actually keep your business really small. That's because they can distract you from those basic things that you do need to do in order to see that growth. Now, don't get me wrong, those marketing tactics aren't bad. In fact, I've tried most of them, and most of them work really well. Most of them are just as good as the people who are telling you about them are saying that they are. But they need to be utilized sparingly, and just one at a time. Because if you try to do too many marketing tactics, or you try to use those marketing tactics when they're not the part of building your business that you really need to focus on, then they'll just distract you from more important things. So why are we so susceptible to all these distractions? Well, it's because the basics are pretty basic. They're not nearly as sexy or exciting as things like webinars and Pinterest marketing. Those flashier marketing tactics sometimes can sound like they will be shortcuts to the results that we want. And the basics, they require some work, and so they're not quite as appealing. And like I said, those marketing tactics, they do work, but we have to take care of the basics first, because otherwise we're just pouring gasoline on a half-built engine. Now, I could end the video right here and just leave you with those two important ideas. Don't get distracted and focus on the basics, but you guys know that is not how I roll. I don't want to just tell you what to do. I want to actually tell you how you can do it in your own business. So let's talk about what those business basics actually are. I like to break the process of building a successful business into three main phases. First, you have to build your audience, and then you have to actually generate sales, and then you get to scale your business, which means that you get to increase the size of your business. And here's just a little hint before we even get into talking about what each of these phases involves. That third phase, it goes on indefinitely. Once you do the two main groundwork phases, then you can just continue to scale your business and scale as big as you want your business to get. Okay, so the first phase of building your business, that's where you focus on building your audience. Now, this doesn't mean that you're just gonna post on social media every day and hope that they come. There's actually some specific things that you need to do in order to successfully build your audience. You need to do things like work on your business's message, what the focus of your business is, work on your visual branding, and then actually put out that content that can start to attract people so that your audience grows. Then in the second phase of building your business, you focus on generating your sales. But that doesn't mean that we need to just execute a bunch of random marketing tactics. That means we need to develop a product that people really want. We need to create systems that allow them to purchase it. And then we need to create a sales system that will successfully sell it to our audience. And then in the third and final phase of growing the business, scaling the business, we need to work on both improving our systems so that things are more automated, even more organized, so that we're ready to grow. And then we need to work on improving our marketing and expanding our marketing so that we can bring in more potential customers and ultimately generate more sales and serve more customers. All right, now that you have an idea of what goes into these three main phases of building a successful business, let's break it down into 7 specific steps. Now, before you can even get started with step 1, there's a step 0 that you may or may not have already done, and that's simply to decide what business you're going to be building. If you haven't started your business yet, then you need to decide what business you're going to start, or else you won't be able to actually build a business. So once you've done that, then you can move into step 1, which is to develop your company's message. So you need to figure out what you're communicating to your customers, who you're trying to attract, and what you're saying that you can help them with. Once you've clarified your message, then you can move on to step 2, where you will develop your visual branding. So you need to create a visual brand that will be attractive to your potential customers. Step 3 is to get visibility so that you can start to attract your audience. You can do this on social media. You can do it by doing collaborations with people who already have established audiences. You can use SEO to get people to your website. But most of the time, this means you'll be creating some sort of content that will attract those people to your brand, and you'll be publishing it somewhere so that it can get the visibility so people actually discover it. Those first 3 steps are all part of the build your audience phase. Now it's time to move into phase 2, where you're working on generating sales. The first step of this phase is step 4 of the business building process, and it's where you create a product that is something that your audience really wants. Now, some people develop their product early on before they start this business development process at all. So they have to be really careful that they're attracting the right people, who are the people who will want to buy the product that they've already created. But a lot of people start building their business with just an idea for some type of people who they want to help in some general way. And then later on, they actually develop the product to serve that audience. So if you haven't developed your product yet, then in step 4 of the business building process, you'll do that. But you need to be sure that you do create a product that's something that the audience you've attracted really wants. The 5th step of this process, which is also in phase 2, is to generate sales. And I know that I just said that in 2 words, generate sales, but it's a quite an involved process. You need to create systems that allow customers to purchase your products online. You also need to create some sort of system or process that sells your product to them. So it might be a series of emails that you send out to your email list that tell them about your product and how it can help them. It might be video or blog content, social media content. You might use things like webinars or even Facebook ads. But generally, I like to reserve those more complex, advanced marketing strategies for when you get to the 7th step of building your business and you're really trying to scale. So in this 5th step, when we're trying to generate sales, we want to keep things as simple as possible so that we can keep on growing the business and not get distracted right here. Once you've started consistently generating sales, then you're ready to move on to the 3rd phase of building your business and step 6 of the process, which is to organize, automate, and outsource inside your business. So this is where you're really going to create more robust systems so that you can run your business a lot more efficiently. Because if things aren't running efficiently, then when you try to scale your business, you are going to create a big mess. This is a step that a lot of people skip, and they try to start scaling and they quickly realize that things are getting out of control. So then they have to backtrack and get this organizing, automating, and outsourcing done before they're able to move on to step 7. So it's a step that a lot of people try to skip, but you really can't. So these are the 7 basic steps that everyone needs to do in order to build a successful, profitable business. Plenty of people do these steps in a different order than I just shared them with you in, and that's totally all right. All 7 steps really are necessary for building a successful, profitable business, but the order in which you do them is somewhat flexible. This is the order that I found tends to work the best for most types of businesses, but it's not a hard and fast rule. So my question for you is, in these steps that I just shared with you, steps 1 through 7, where are you in this process of building your business? My hope in sharing these 7 steps with you is to give you a really clear, big picture perspective on the process of building a business so that you know where you're at and what you need to focus on next. As entrepreneurs, staying focused is one of our very biggest challenges. Doing the work that we need to do, not getting distracted by all the things that we could learn or try. Now, as you might know, I run a program called Startup Society, and one of the main reasons that I created Startup Society was because I recognized what a huge issue distraction and overwhelm are for people who are trying to build online businesses these days. Most of us know basically what we need to do in order to build a successful business, but we have a pretty tough time staying focused enough to actually get it done. So I've really worked to make that the heart of Startup Society. Every month, our members focus in on an action plan that guides them to work on one of these basic but essential aspects of building their business online. Have you given Startup Society a try yet? If not, we would love to have you join us. We've got an amazing group of motivated entrepreneurs inside the program, all cheering each other on and all committed to taking action to grow their business every single month. Now, of course, Startup Society isn't for everyone, but if it sounds like something that you might be interested in, then I invite you to learn more and consider joining us. There's a link in the description box down below that you can click to learn all the details. Okay, now before we wrap this up, let's just do a quick recap of the 7 steps of building a successful, profitable business online. The first step is step 0, and that's simply deciding what business you're going to build. Then you can move on to step 1, where you clarify your business's message. In step 2, you design an attractive visual brand for your business. Then in step 3, you work on creating content and getting visibility to attract prospective customers. In step 4, you create a product that is something your audience actually wants. And then in step 5, you create systems that sell your product to your audience. In step 6, you get your business organized, automated, and you outsource some of the work. And then in step 7, you scale your business. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. I hope that what you learned today really helps to give you clarity about what you need to do in order to grow a successful and profitable business online. And if you do decide to join us inside Startup Society, then I can't wait to start working with you very soon. Okay, well, that's all I've got for you guys for today's video. But if you want to join me again next week, then make sure you click that red subscribe button down below so that you can find out when my next video is released. I make new videos all about entrepreneurship, success, and personal development every single week, and I would love to have you join me for the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, take care and stay focused.